or anything, but he has won everything. Just like people forget Juan Mata's won everything, but not everyone can make it as the way like Leo did. But Cruz, fantastic career. He's the reason that I will never say De Bruyne is the best passer I've ever seen, because I've seen Toni Kroos pull some rabbit holes out of his ass, and I'm not even saying that lightly. On the other side, Modric, he wants to retire at Real Madrid. I mean, if he was to sign maybe a 1-year deal, play 6 months at Al Nassr, maybe, I don't know. But I don't think he's playing 2 more years. I think next season will actually finally officially be his last. I mean, we've been saying that for the last 2 years now, so I don't think we can predict it. But Luka Modric Luka Modric moved from being flop of the season when he just signed for Madrid to being one of their best players in all of history.
Ever.
And that's just it.
Because Modric, I have full respect for Luka Modric. I know a lot of fans, a lot of Barcelona fans, a lot of other fans in other respects do not. But Modric has contributed so much to the game. He drug his nation to a World Cup finals and a consecutive World Cup semi-finals where they lost. Not bad to finish second and third for a country with less than 4 million population. Not bad to finish for a country where the main occupation is literally farmers. He came from a farmer country and he made it in the biggest league in the world. Honestly, I'm super proud that I've gotten to see the 2 midfields. I've gotten to see Xavi, Iniesta and Busquets, and I've also gotten to see Modric, Kroos and Casemiro. I think that's a bigger win than being in the era of watching R9, of watching Maradona, probably even watching Pele. I think this is a bigger win because I've seen it all. I've seen the 2 best teams in history go head to head with these 2 midfields battling it out in El Clasico. That's the peak of football, and I don't think there'll ever be a time
I'm not
involved in that game.
I'm not sure about that, I mean, Barca, Pedri, Gavi, maybe they keep Frankie, I don't know, but they may get a 6. And if all goes well at Real Madrid, we're looking at a midfield of Bellingham and Valverde and Tchouameni. I mean, I wouldn't mind watching that midfield a couple of times a week,
Yeah, but do you think that we'll ever see that midfield being the absolute best and being able to be compared with Kroos, Casemiro and Modric?
That will never be, because there's no Kroos in that team. Never.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. We saw the 2 best midfielders in history go head to head. And twice per year, sometimes in the Champions League, sometimes in the Cup, we saw this peak. We saw outrageous scorelines, outrageous goals. There was blood, guts and tears spilled in these matches. And these players, all these players that we're calling, were all involved. They're retiring in the next 3-4 years, most of them. Right? But Toni Kroos, he was one of the best players of these 2 midfields. He was, if you have to make a combined midfield, he would be probably the only safe main there. That's how good he was. But moving on from his career, the end of an era 100%, and moving over to the start of an era of depression, of absolute sadness for Liverpool. Liverpool have been atrocious this season. They're really missing the main man, Sadio Mane. I told you once that I put it again, Sadio Mane is the best football player in the world, and that they absolutely got bumped off by Bayern for releasing him. All they had to do was match his wages, and they'd still be winning the league, I can almost guarantee it. And who did they replace him with? None other than Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez is a miss overall. And I think, and I confidently said at the start of the season, that these Haaland Núñez comparisons need to stop, because Núñez will never half of what Norman did. And it seems that I've been proven right. Of course, this could just be a one bad flop start. Of course, this should just be a bad start to his career, Liverpool career. Right now, if this guy, if I was to be executed, I'd say, please make Darwin take a shot. Because I know I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be home with my family in the evening eating dinner for any crime that I committed because I know he's going to miss.
Yeah, I mean, bro, listen, if Darwin shot Tupac, he'd be about 47. But when the season just started, people were saying, oh, Liverpool got Darwin Núñez. I know they spent a bit much. He's an £80 million player. I was there like, are you smoking glue? 80 million? It makes no sense. It made no sense. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I watched Darwin when he was playing for Benfica against Liverpool. Liverpool played with a high line. Darwin was on the left. Being on the left means you have to deal with Trent defensively, meaning you have no defender. So everybody looks good. I mean, come on. I know he scored 35. I watched his highlights of his last season at Benfica. He was rubbish. I always saw it. As I said, he needs at least 3 chances to score 1 goal. In the Premier League, you don't get that forgiving. I've seen him go in the... It wasn't Brentford, it was a game before that. I don't even remember who that was. I don't remember if it was West Ham or whoever. But he missed about 5 or 6 chances. I mean, it was awful. He is awful. He is awful. He is awful. He is rubbish. I mean, I can't believe people were saying he's the successor for Edinson Cavani. Cavani's not missing those chances.
I'm convinced at this point that he's a double agent posing for Manchester City to floor Liverpool. I've said it once and I've said it again. If Darwin Núñez was captain in the Titanic, he would have actually got to New York City. Moving on.
He would have missed the iceberg.
Moving on. And from Darwin Núñez to his manager, Jurgen Klopp. The Liverpool faithful don't seem too faithful anymore. And there have been many calls on the internet, on social media, and the clamour by the fans heard in the stadium during matches for Jurgen Klopp to be sacked. The former manager of Bayern, of Borussia Dortmund, came in and achieved success with them, what they failed to do when Gerrard accidentally slipped. He won them the Premier League and he won them the Champions League. And I think that this is going to be a similar situation to Chelsea if he is to be sacked. How are you going to sack the man that won you the Champions League and the Premier League, right? And going to try to replace him with someone else? I believe that they should give him time. Having one bad season does not warrant him getting sacked. That would be like a FIFA type of move, where if you give a player a little bit too much money, you're sacked instantly. You get me?
I mean,
what do you make of this? Do you think that he should look at Leicester? Leicester are giving Brendan Rodgers all the chance, all the time in the world.
Like
and
James
I think
Bond.
that for what Klopp has achieved with the Reds, he deserves this.
Man, I think, listen, I know that at all his previous clubs, at Mainz, at Dortmund, he's had that one season after the success where it's poor. I wouldn't mind if Jurgen stayed at Liverpool. I wouldn't mind it because he's kind of using all the old shit and the injured ones, and he hasn't had younger players. He's one of them who doesn't want to go into the market and spend 60, 70, 80 million on players. He's done it already, hypocrite. I mean, yes, who's going to sack a manager who won you the Premier League and the Champions League? Ask Chelsea how they sacked Mourinho. Ask Real Madrid how they sacked Ancelotti. I mean, bro, it does happen sometimes. But in this case, I wouldn't mind if he stayed because, look, you still have the chance to sign either a Moise Caicedo, a Sofiane Amrabat, a Jude Bellingham, and Enzo Fernandez. You can bring in a young midfielder. You know that you need a defender now. Vardial has said Liverpool is his dream club. You look at the forward line, it's young. You got Gakpo, you got Diaz, you got Ben Doak. I'm not even going to talk about Núñez, but you got Ben Doak, right? Ben Doak. He's the next big thing for Liverpool. You can give him time. Like, this season could be a write-off if he finishes in the Europa League, so be it. Boom, we come back next season. But after next season, if it's the same, you got to let him go.
Yeah, and I think that would be a fair sort of criteria. I believe the problem of Liverpool's entire season so far is not having a controlling midfield. They don't have a midfield that is controlling the passing. They don't have a midfield that is doing enough defensively. Of course, there's always James Milner. There's always Dean Henderson, but Henderson has been poor. And Milner, when he's getting old, well, he's always been old. Yeah. Ever since he was born, he's been old. But he's old now.
Fun fact, Milner is actually younger than Ronaldo.
Yeah, I know. But is he though? Is he really?
Birth certificate says so.
Nah, that's a lie. That's a forgery. Someone needs to address experience before doing that. They realized that minimum wage was... They realized that people are available for pension at 68 years old and said, nah, we want full salary. No, but in all seriousness, Liverpool really needs to step up, and so do Klopp. Give him a little bit of time, though. And to end this transfer roundup, we move on to possibly the manager of the season being Thomas Frank. The Brentford manager has been absolutely on fire so far, delivering massive blows to the top six in what we can only call the most entertaining fixtures of all time. Of course, that means that he did beat Manchester United, but such is the price to pay for such a amazing story. What do you make of Thomas Frank and Brentford's performances thus far?
Listen, at the start of the season, based on last season's form, I predicted them to get relegated. Because I know that they weren't going to keep Eriksen after the way he was playing. I knew that without Eriksen, they were shit. Tony, he can't be the only source of goals, but he still is, and it's working. The defence needed a bit of work, especially Pinnock was out with that long-term injury. But they're doing well. I mean, little old Brentford invited United over, put 4 past them. Little old Brentford invited Liverpool, put 3 past them. Little old Brentford went to the Etihad and beat them. I mean, they nearly beat Spurs. I mean, fucking Kane made that not good, but you know, they have Arsenal to play to make up for that, and Chelsea. So, hey, I'm happy with Brentford. I'm happy with how they are. I still would hope my prediction comes true, but it doesn't seem it won't. Manager of the season, bro, I'm looking at Eddie Howe and I'm not looking at anyone else.
Okay, Eddie Howe, maybe, but he is certainly a contender to be there.
Yeah, but you know, English press is lazy and they'll just give it to who wins the league.
Yeah, they're just going to give it to an Englishman at the end of the day, you know. That's just how it is. But yes, and that wraps up the GC Sports Transfer Roundup. It has been your boy, your host, Randy Savage, along with Jackson Bryan. As always, we just want to say thank you for those who tune in. Thank you for those who are always listening and commenting and interacting with us on Twitter, Instagram, social media, all that sort of good stuff. Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to say, Jackson?
Final thing, and we should have actually started with this. Damar Hamlin, you know, good job that he's back out of his horrendous incident, I can say. Monday Night Football, he tackled T. Higgins. Higgins over his shoulder in his chest. He got up, he was walking, then he just fell back down. Had I want to say minor heart attack on the field. He was resuscitated by one of the trainers on his team, which is good for him. He's up, he's talking, they removed the breathing tube, so he's doing well on himself, you know. We're just continuing to monitor him, and the toy drive, you guys can always donate to his toy drive as well. He was gonna look for 2,500, it's already past 8 million, so if you want to keep contributing, go right ahead, it's always for a good cause.
Honestly, get well soon. It's amazing that he survived. I know 10, 15 years ago this would have been fatal. Probably even 5 years ago this would have been fatal, but all credit to the medical staff and all credits to everyone who has donated. As he said, you can make donations to his toy drive. All of them are going to charity, of course, which is always a good cause. And with that, we wrap up the GP Sports Transfer Roundup today. Thank you, guys, as always, and stay boxing.
Yeah, but we'll see you guys next time. Tomorrow show we have some announcements and some transfer news from our specialists.